Greetings, family. This is Bomani Tamba, and welcome to our Liberia Reconnection and Investment Tour set for March to April 2024. And our family, I'll be leading you on that journey of a lifetime, as we've been doing for the last 17 years under our banner, Africa for the Africans. All right. So our journey of a lifetime tours, we've traveled across 10 different African countries, and we've done journeys across 8. And we've showcased a reconnection and networking beyond no other, because our goal is to use the world of tourism to introduce you to the country. And then once you get to the country, our goal is to connect more of us together to see what we can work on as far as living, doing business, and investing in the country. So the programs that we have showcase you around the country as far as tourism, connect you to this incredible, whether it's this going out to eat and enjoying great dining, or whether it's a business and investment conference, or us enjoying nightlife, or us making our way around the country and connecting to the roots and the culture. It is our organized connection to get the energy in Liberia built and get more people interested in the Pan-African country that was established by our ancestors from the Americas. So working our way through different countries and sharing as much connections as possible, and looking for more and more people just to open their energy and their minds to connecting with us. So what we have organized is the information on our website at africafortheafricans.org. And also I'm going to share a postcard flyer and a few different things, play some videos, some promo videos about Liberia, and then go through the full details that's on our website at africafortheafricans.org. And I'm always letting anyone know, if you're interested in traveling to whether it's Liberia or other parts of Africa based on our schedule, or if you're looking to connect with us, whether it's consultation or just have a general conversation, you can just reach out to me directly via phone at 404-931-9429. And you can also just visit the website, and our email address, our phone number, and other information is on there. But you can just always just send me a text message with your details, and that's a good way for us to start the connection. And whatever information that you need, you can send me your email address and I'll get it out to you. So all the people that we have traveling with us to Liberia or are interested in Liberia, I have them on our WhatsApp group page. So for those who are interested in joining us, once you're clear with the information and you're ready to join us, we'll add you to the WhatsApp page, add you to the email list, send you all the updates and details. That way you're clear. And as we get closer to the journey, the goal is always to do more organized conference call for us to just talk directly about the country, any updates. And definitely we want to get more into talking about visas, especially at the 3 to 4 month mark. And then we'll work out the easiest way for us to do a visa. So this is a country that we're going to, Liberia, that you have to have a visa to travel to the country. So if you're an American citizen, you still need a visa. So these are some of the countries that require a visa. The countries that don't require a visa are Senegal and South Africa. And South Africa means if you're staying less than 90 days. So that's the situation. And wish more of the politicians, or wish more of some of the people that we work with can kind of change and adjust some of those things. But it's a mutual thing, because what goes on here in America has to also go on in that country. So if America is not letting people come for visa free, then an opposite end, it's not going to work that way. So I always let everyone know that if you are traveling with us, it's no big deal and things like that. And if you need help with visas, I have no problem helping with visas, and we have no problem making sure that you're clear on things. This is an organized tour operation to where if you have questions, you want to talk to me throughout the week, reach out to me. If you need to come by and need us to do video calls and things like that, it's all good. The goal is to make sure that everybody is prepared, clear, and ready. So on that note, what I want to do is start the first share of information, and then just go through it and share a bulk of details to get you clear and prepared for the journey. All right, so this is our Liberia Reconnection Investment Tour flyer for March 29th to April 9th, 2024. And when we're on the website, I'm going to take you directly to the tour overview, and it's going to talk about the full tour package and what's included, what's not included, and also a list of the different things that we're going to be doing, and also breeze through the itinerary itself and talk about some of the preparation details. So this is the flyer that I have on, I want to say on our WhatsApp page, and it's been posted on the Facebook page also, and it's been sent in email and been passed and shared around. So this is always available for me to share with you. If you want to share a flyer with a friend, or if you want to share certain details. And once we get closer to the journey, I'm going to work on our tour book. Now, these tour books, they give you a nice introduction to the country. It also talks about all the different sites we're going to go on. It also talks about or give an introduction to the tour staff, crew, and members of people that's working with you, and then also get into investments and other things in the future. And so this is the next thing, our website, africafortheafricans.org. So once you're on this website, since we're talking about Ghana, since we're talking about Liberia and not Ghana, and for those who are listening and they're interested in any other country, what I have is just a list of countries that we're traveling to. So you can see it on the main menu to your left, but also you can see it inside the actual main body of the front page of the website. Right? And that is our schedule. So what you do is just click on Liberia Reconnection and Investment Tour here in the front page of the website, or you can go to the main menu and click on a link. And so once you click on the link for the Liberia journey, then you're going to see a list of different articles. Now, these list of articles are overview, itinerary, general terms, visa process, improving your immune system, departure, and reminder list. So anyone that's looking to travel with us or connect with us on this journey, this is what I highly recommend that you start off with. Just read through the information and make sure you're clear. Write a list of questions, and then I can literally answer those questions, and we can literally just go through it, because the goal is to just make sure that you're prepared and clear. So then also I have this Liberia link as far as the banner, and that's the featured journey on the website. So every page has it. So it's a journey that we're pushing more than any other journey to get more and more people interested and building a strong group. That way we can make a proper representation in the country, shoot a lot of pictures, videos, share the experience, do the incredible business conference, and just get more people open to West Africa. So we already have certain things established in Ghana, looking to step it up and establish an energy in another country. Try working the energy in Senegal and Gambia. Not really feeling certain things, even though that is one of our more successful countries that we do tourism in. But looking to just build something organic and build it from the ground up, and just see how things go. So the climate, the energy is right, the history, the culture is right, and it's up to us to bring our energy and build on to what we're looking to get done in the country. So anyone that's with us, that's listening on the call, that's watching the video and things like that, just definitely asking you to share the information, that's trying to get more people to see things vibrant about Liberia. People probably not used to seeing an organized business and investment tour going to Liberia, but you have to start somewhere, and this is as good as it gets. But there's a lot of other countries in Africa, but unfortunately, some countries don't have great marketing, which cause people just to end up running to the more popular countries and things like that. But it doesn't mean that the more popular countries are the best countries. It does mean that they're the more popular countries and things like that. But I believe in working from the grassroots and building up an energy. So this is what we have established. And so that's our Liberia Reconnection information. So I'm going to click on the overview, and we're going to just get right into the overview. And so this tour package, and what I'm going to do is make some edits here on the tour package. I'm waiting to get the group flight information back from United, see what they're working with. And it don't look good for some of the other airlines as far as trying to get to the country. So Royal Air Morocco is what we have on the schedule, and then United is also what we're looking to get a quote for group booking for the people who are on the group list. So that is going to be a sequence to where your flight will leave from wherever you are your closest airport, and then we just get you all connected to where we all meet in Liberia. And then there'll be a connection point in Europe. Example, if we're using United, we're going to be connected to Brussels, Belgium. And then if we are using Royal Emirates, our connection is going to be in Casablanca, or I would say most flights will connect to New York. Or New York would be the main connection. Then you go to Casablanca, and from Casablanca to Monrovia. So that's what we're working on, and I'm just happy that we're working on it early, since we have commitments to make these things work. So we'll keep everybody posted with the finalized group booking, and then I'll put that schedule on the itinerary as far as the airlines. And so hopefully I get that worked out this week, which specific airline we're traveling on, and then try to encourage everyone else to commit. That way we don't have to, or you don't have to pay for expensive tickets towards the end. So this is a well-organized journey where everything has to be done and organized ahead of time. All right, for those who are going to pay for their own tickets, then you can just pay for the Liberia accommodation. So that's everything as far as the ground package that's on the tours included, without the flights to Liberia. And that's 2,700. So whichever way work out for you, it's all good. Right now, the majority of people, almost everyone exception of one or two, is going with the full package. So that's when we do the group booking with 10 or more people. All right, tours included. Now it's transportations and tours throughout Liberia. Looking for someone to volunteer, or looking to get one of our staff members to also, possibly do daily exercise and meditation. If not, we just recommend everyone come out and just exercise, stretch, and do trying to encourage that energy. But it's all up to the individuals. All right. Included also is a daily continental breakfast and gourmet dinner. So daily continental breakfast is breakfast served by the hotel. So right now we have Kenaja Resort outside of Monrovia, and then we have Nana's Beach in Robertsport. So breakfast will be included, and then for dinner, for the most part, if we are around a city area, our goal is to find some of the best restaurants to have dinner. And then in other cases, we can also order dinner from the hotel restaurant. So that's how we just work that out. Just letting you know that you're gonna get a great quality meal for the tour package, and it's just based on what you like to eat. It's not no one's gonna put a bunch of local food there and surprise you. So whether it's a buffet or whether you order, it's trying to make sure that you're accommodated, right? The lodging is 2 people to room. It's basically 4-star hotel accommodations with double occupancy. So the 4-star is the resort, Kenaja. As far as Nana Beach, that is 2 days in a hotel out in the country. So that's a nice accommodation, but it's not a 4-star resort, just to be clear. Right. Business and investment conference and a whole lot of networking, and that's our goal to do this, a whole lot of this connection to get the energy going for as far as encouraging people to want to invest and be a part of the future in the country. So what I've always done historically when we do business and investment conference in different countries is I record different segments of all of the presenters, and whether it's interviews and other things like that. I have it all recorded and organized, and I have 2 different playlists that we'll just have it on YouTube, and we're just showcasing us in Africa organizing business conference and organizing people who can deliver in the world of business, whether it's people that are business professionals in the legal world, in the world of lands commission, the world of marketing, tourism, the world of this any professional energy, and especially the energy that will be clear as far as what we need to know as far as living and doing business in the country, right? So the next thing is not included. So what's not included in the tour package is lunch and group tips of $100, and that's per person. And then if there's any camera or camcorder fees at any sites, I just put that on every place I travel to, because some countries have them, some countries don't. And if they are, it's usually like $1 or so. But that's not included. Liberia visa, which right now it's $160 for a 12-month multiple entry visa. And for those who are coming with us, the goal is always to try to work on visas as early as anywhere from 3 to 4 months to the latest 2 to 3 months. And we're looking to different options to get these things processed. But the way we have always processed visas is you fill out the application, you put all the details in your priority mail or your secured envelope, and you send it into the specific embassy. And those are the directions and details that we have right here on this link. And also we'll go through it when it's time to go through it in full details. And then also let you know that when you're doing these visas, you're looking at anywhere from 7 to 14 days, or I should say 7 to 10 days, and depends on the country and depends on the time that you're doing it. So that's why doing it 2 to 3 months or 2 to 4 months ahead of time is will work out to where the longest your passport should be gone to get the visa stamp in it is 2 weeks. And so this is a list of tour highlights that we're gonna go through. And this could also be the flow. This is not the direct flow of the itinerary, but this pointing out a few things, and then I'll flip to the itinerary to give you a day-to-day. Yeah. So working our way around Monrovia, and the classic part of all tours that we do is a city tour. So we make our way around the main city, and we visit all the historical and cultural places. So in this case, you have the National Museum, where we're gonna visit, and also make sure we get a nice recording and just update people what's in the museum and show an organized presentation. Capitol Hill tour, University of Liberia, Joseph Jenkins Robert Monument, the first president of Liberia. So that's another focused video that we'll do, to where we have a professional tour guide explaining it, and then we're recording, and then maybe have questions and things like that. And all of these are short films or short clips or short documentaries that we're recording in its fullest. So you are literally just recording a full presentation from when the tour guide introduced the site to the end of his presentation or end of the Q&A and things like that. So those are some of the things that I've not seen much in the country, but you have seen this monument. So far we've seen a few, but some parts you have not seen. And so that's part of the energy that make more people interested in the country, because the first thing people used to ask me when I started doing these tours to Africa is like, what are we gonna do? Meaning that they don't think Africa is interested enough to where it's a list of things to do. So this is where we prove you wrong, by writing an itinerary and putting all the elements of a balanced experience in for you. That way you can enjoy it, get your money's worth, and open your world to a future connection, because that's the purpose of us connecting to Africa, to explore and open our minds to see what the future possibility look like, to see if we want to be a part of this whole repatriation movement of living, doing best business, and investing in Africa. Right. So Providence Island, and the same thing too. That's the 1822 settlement. So our ancestors landed there and set up. So what our goal is to do is to organize the best reenactment as possible. And that's why we always need more and more people just to be clear with us if they're journeying with us. That way we can organize the budget and get these things done months ahead of time. So definitely looking forward to that one. Our goal in this journey, in any other roots and culture journey, is always to take you back to the historical days of our African ancestors, and just show their bravery, their greatness, and all the wonderful things that they did to build a foundation to where we're building on right now. All right, other parts, we have Bushrod Island, Freeport of Monrovia, Organization of African Union, OAU. So we'll get a scholar or a professional that has in-depth knowledge as far as the birth, energy, and foundation of the OAU in Liberia. Right. We have a few cultural centers and creative arts place. Definitely want to make sure we make our way around, make some purchases, make some donations, especially if it's a school. And if you have school supplies and things like that, I always recommend that you bring your school supplies. That way we can be well prepared in the country and just show some love. Right. And while we're driving around the city, Antoinette Tubman Stadium, multi-purpose operation, Buchanan. So this part is where we're going to visit the tropical energy of Liberia as far as beaches. So we have one day where we set out for the day, and that's our goal, is to visit 1 or 2 locations and just enjoy time out at the beach and just enjoy great meals and relax. So I have a perfect Sunday setup to where you try to do some of these things on a Sunday where the traffic is light, and you just make your way. further down the country. So I have Sophia Rock Beach, Social Gathering and Network, Sunset Beach, same thing. And then all of these things are not set in stone. The goal is to work with our tour guides to finalize the best route, the best flow of our schedule possibly. And then when we go to Robertsport, you're also right there by that beach area, and you'll see surfing and you'll see other wonderful things that's out there in the tropical energy. So other parts of the itinerary that we have as we take you further out in the country. And again, family, some of these things will be adjusted just to be real, because that's what we do. We're trying to come up with a perfect flow, perfect schedule. So our goal is not to just keep you in Monrovia the whole time. Just definitely want everyone to understand that. Our goal is definitely to make sure you have some days where you make your way out, because that's the only way you can really experience the country. You can't go to a capital city in any of the African countries and feel like you have gotten a balanced experience. It's close, but you have a lot to see outside, because part of understanding the African continent and getting a feel for it is the rural areas. So people like myself have always looked at, okay, well, we're not going to be in Accra in the situation in Ghana. So we're going to find somewhere about 2 hours away, very rural by beach area. And we can build a foundation to where we can just get into business, investment, build a community, build a small town, be a part of the future, but have the space you need to do the agriculture that you need to do, and also to establish the things that you want to establish, all the buildings or the business operation, and to also be in an area where it's more so on the dense population side versus overcrowded. So the way you get to do that is you just got to get into a country and make your way around the country and learn about the other parts of the country. And that is the link right there to our resort, KenejaResort.com. This is IR, LR for Liberia. And so family, that is a tour overview. So if you want to see the rest of the information, you have to just click back on the link on the main menu, or you can go to the very top and click on the main menu link for Liberia. All right, so the general terms and other things is not going to go through, and the same thing with the visa and improving your immune system. The departure reminder list is basically letting you know about all of the things that you need to have packed, ready, prepared for, be clear on. So it gives you a summary of all of the conference calls and all of the things that we have talked about. And definitely always recommend everyone read all these things up front. But towards the end, and this will be updated towards the end with anything that we need to know as far as this. When you look at these travel advisory, usually just find the country's travel advisory and make sure that you're updated and clear on things. And in the age of the COVID-19, that's one of the things that we had to do a whole lot. We had to just literally every time before we travel to a country, just keep updated with the travel advisory. So when people see all these tours during the COVID era, I tell them that we don't let anything stop us. But what you have to do is you have to be prepared, clear, organized, and you have to be just ready to just make it happen. All right, so the next thing I'm going to go through before we get to some other pages is the Liberia itinerary. And since we went through most of the things generally, I'm just going to skip through this. But the goal is always to let everyone know that when we're building a schedule, we're building a schedule from day one, which is the day that we leave the U.S. And then we'll make our flight. And in this case, we have the Royal Air Morocco link right there. So which will be, the ideal preference, because I was looking to just travel on an African airline and, build some experience with Royal Air Morocco. But if they can't deliver and United work out better, we'll go with that. So we'll just go with the best option. And that's the best thing, or I would recommend anyone that's looking to go to any of these countries, just look at your options as far as flights. Some countries have better flexibility than others. But the goal is to minimize layover and minimize connection. And in some cases, you can only do so much. So in some cases, unfortunately, you may have flights where you have double connection. So in this case of Liberia, since it's a few sequence, that's more of your case, double connection using United. But Royal Air Morocco, your only connection will end up being in Casablanca, from New York and Casablanca. And Casablanca connection is short. And the only bad thing that I don't like about the Royal Air Morocco flights is that they get in ridiculously early. Like this one, say 4:20 a.m. But it's never a big deal. You know, we're traveling international. We're lost in time, so we have to do a bunch of adjustments with time anyway. So sometimes it's not that bad. All right, and once we get to the country, the goal is just to get our bags, have ourselves organized, work our way through passport control, and have our crew and our staff out there ahead of time waiting for us, and then get you to the resort to where you can just just gonna have to work out the early check-in. So we check in early, just relax and enjoy some relaxed time, get some good lunch, and then organize ourselves for a nice welcome dinner. So far we have dinner at the Fusion d'Afrique restaurant. So that's what we plan to do, and then just have a nice little welcome dinner, have associates and other people around us, and socialize, have great dining, and then just really just break into the energy. I want everybody to have a great time, and want you to just wear your best when we're doing welcome dinners, farewell dinners, or business conference. Dress up nice and sharp, and let's socialize and enjoy our welcome day into Liberia. So the next day, what we have is just a roots and culture day. So that's Saturday. So that's set to just go to a few different cultural roots place. So you have Arts and Culture Center. You have Creative Arts Culture Center School. We're gonna also just make our way around parts of the city. This won't be the city tour. That won't be until Monday, but some parts of the city you definitely see. And then same thing too. We have another dinner. This dinner is nice to the jam. It's Saturday, so we're looking to find you somewhere where we can just enjoy time out and socialize and just enjoy it. And the goal is for us to enjoy Liberia from morning throughout the night, just to enjoy the country in its fullness. So for those who are not into this, you're tired and you may not, at 7 o'clock, you may not want to go out for dinner. We always have an option to where you can just order at the restaurant, and then you can just enjoy your dinner there and then get your rest. Different people have different energy of what they want to do and things like that. So the goal is to create that flexibility. So if you're seeing dinner and you're like, are you going to be able to just really be out and things like that? Because if you have dinner at 7 o'clock, that means you're coming back possibly about 9 o'clock. So we have different age and different energy of people, so they feel different. But I'll always create a schedule where it's completely flexible, but definitely want to make sure that we have a schedule so you can enjoy the fullness of the country. Now, Sunday is that day that I talk about in a tour overview, where it's tropical paradise, where that's what we have set on day 4, Sunday, April the 1st, which is just to enjoy the tropical beaches in Grand Bassa County. Day 5, we are set for this is a combination of the city tour and the repatriation settlement for stolen Africans there, or our ancestors from Americas connecting to Liberia. So all aspect of that we'll have laid out in this day. So it's gonna be a great day for filming, recording. So those who have your phone cameras and you want to record some clips and share it. And our goal is to get this day set to where these presentations are exceptional, whether it's the person doing the Liberian Museum or doing any of the parts of the tour that we have. When I'm out shooting videos and things like that, you kind of have to be prepared, because you only get one chance to make it work. So I got my bag ready with a camcorder and all of our equipment, and just ready to shoot all these videos and just share them with the rest of the world, and just bring this energy of Liberia completely to life. And so the list of things that we have on here is Providence Island. We talk about Bushrod Island, Freeport of Monrovia, full city tour, including the capital, Monrovia. Also make our way around Liberia National Museum, Capitol Hill, the University of Liberia, Joseph Jenkins Roberts Monument, the first president. So all of that we're looking to do in the full daytime. And the full daytime, we're looking at about, our goal is to leave usually between 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So you say about 9 to 4. And then, we break in the middle for a nice organized lunch, to where we're not held up with orders. We go somewhere where we can just get something nice, quick, and easy. So all the locations where we're going to have lunch and also where we're going to have dinner, it's something that once we're on the journey the day before, or the day off, we'll let you know. Let you know what we have to where it's an option that everyone based on their diet will be accommodated. All right, so that is our first few days there in Monrovia. So the next few days, we're going to take a journey out to the countryside, to Robertsport, and we're just going to enjoy. We're going to make some adjustments here to where we should be able to have a nice, beautiful 2 days. The goal is to see what's going on with the Gola Forest National Park, to see if it's one of these other parks that I've been to. I've been to many different national parks in different parts of Africa. That's part of our itinerary in almost every country, whether it's like South Africa, Tanzania, or whether it's something that we're doing in another country. But the word national park means different things to many different people and things like that. Like we have a national park here where I'm at in Jonesboro, and it's not like the national park in South Africa or Tanzania. There's no animals there, but it's a nice social park. So that's the goal for us to find out. But it's a tropical park in nature, and the tourism and as far as the national parks are being worked on. So those are some of the things that I've seen as far as updates in Liberia once we started putting this package together. Right. Another venture out is Senegal. So that's on the list itinerary, and we have to work out certain sequence to make sure that roads, constructions, and things like that. There's many things that you have to look at while you're doing these schedules when you're moving out. So you'll make sure that you have your intel on the ground organized. That way we can just look at the flow of things, and then if certain things need to be adjusted, we'll adjust it. But you're looking at very minimal any adjustments, and any adjustments is going to be to make the journey efficient. On our way back to Monrovia, that's when we have set for a nice dinner back in Monrovia, right there at our hotel resort. And once we finish our dinner, we'll just head over and just have a nice repatriation and business and investment conference. So this is the operation that we have set up. That way, if you have any interest in the country, if you want to be clear about how certain things work, our goal is to organize a list of professionals, documented professionals with business offices and things like that can deliver. So our goal is to work with a few key people to get that organized. So that's a good thing about it. We have a few months ahead of time, so we just keep on working on these things. Day 10, that's a free day. So for those who are looking to just do some final shopping or relax or kick back, just enjoy the day. And then we're going to just do a nice close out farewell dinner at the Calabash. And then that is the day. So this is a weird situation as far as Royal Air Morocco, and that's why United may work out better. But this was an early morning checkout because the flight leaves early in the morning. So that's what we have organized. So family, this is our incredible itinerary, and made sure that we have all aspects of an introduction to balance your experience on it. And so day 12, we are back in New York, or back in the US, and the journey is at the end. So that is our incredible overview and itinerary for those who are looking to travel with us. And a few other things I want to share is this is our Liberia Facebook page. All right, there's a link. Perfect. And so that link is facebook.com/groups Liberia Reconnection Tours. And this is part of the flyer. And it's just gives you the overview of the actual tour. And it's a lot of different posts all about our Liberia tours. Anything that we talk about Liberia is on here. And that's my goal, so just keep on sharing. But looking to get a few more people to add to the group. And just showcase all the things that we have done over the last year. And just want to let everyone know that we're consistent with this, and it's serious business. And when we commit ourselves to any of these operations, we're gonna give you the best and make it all work for you. So the good thing of it is there's some playlists. One is with the preparation of videos that we have organized, and another one, it talks about the history and the culture in different segments and promo videos. So those are the two playlists that we're talking about. But these are some of the posts from some of those playlists. And these are some of the posts on the shows that we do. Some of them talk about Liberia. Almost all of them talk about Liberia. So I try to be as specific as possible. And in this one, it talks about all the countries that we're traveling to Africa, including Liberia. So that's what we have on this Liberia page. And then for those who want to leave a comment or want to send a message or something, be free to. Next page, my Facebook page. Once we get the photos up, they'll be right here on photos, just like all other countries that we have. And YouTube page. So when you're on YouTube, you can click on playlists and you'll see 2 Liberia playlists. And I'll show you those 2 playlists shortly. So the first playlist is right here. This is the one where we do all the promos. Like this conference call video will be on this playlist. And it's a whole lot of videos. It's actually 28 videos right now. And that's the amount of presentations that we've been doing. And just trying to get the word and energy out. All right, so this is that playlist. So this is me and my good brother Khaled doing most of the presentation as we looking to push Liberia strong. And then also got some of our wonderful sisters. This sister right here, Sharina, literally lived in the U.S., lived in Liberia. And then we have 2 sisters that are from Liberia that live in America and go back and forth and do business. And then there's a Liberia banquet that I went to, and this is one of the brothers that is running for president in the country. And some of the videos that I shot at the banquet, when you could go somewhere and you don't know a bunch of people, you kind of try to be reserved because you don't want to know who's this guy with his phone doing all these things. But I use the phone versus my camcorder since I didn't know much people there. But I can't help myself. I got to shoot some kind of video. It's not me if I don't shoot videos. And if I'm not in the zone, I try to get myself in the zone and shoot videos. So what you see online is just everything that I've done in my life. I show you everything and just sharing. That way you know who you're dealing with, and you know the level of our passion, our commitment, our dedication, and you know what we're about. So that's what you see, all this documentation. And some people have never seen documentation like this before, but it is it's 3,800 videos here on YouTube, close to 4,000. So that's what we do. So if you ever need to access or review any information, you can check out our presentations and let us know, if it's good, if we need improvement, if there's certain things that we didn't talk about or need to talk about, that we need to get better at clear, because at this moment, our only goal is to improve our delivery and really just get more people to work with us to pull this energy off. So that is our Liberia preparation journey page. So this next one, and I'll play, one of these videos. Take a short break and play 1 or 2 of these videos. But these are some of the videos that some of them represent the parts of the country that we're traveling to, the hotel. Some of them represent some quick promo of the country, promoting the year of the diaspora, promoting Liberia tourism, and things like that. And as I mentioned, all of these places that you see in here, when we go there, we're going to do our own recording, our own presentation. But this helps a lot. Some of these are a great presentation and great introduction. And we've done 1 or 2 live shows where almost all of these videos we have played on 1 or 2 times, and just going, kind of show you, just get you a feel. So I appreciate all the people who did these videos and have them out here to share, and looking forward to working with more people in Liberia so we can share more of the beauty of the country. Right. So what I'm going to do is play this Liberia promo video for 2 minutes, and then I'll be right back, and then we can just get further into dialogue about this journey of a lifetime. Right, so we're gonna get out this commercial break.
The journey of a lifetime, Liberia Reconnection and invest.
All right, let me get back to the other video. All right, so that is, so this one is our Liberia tourism brand video. I'm not sure what I clicked on a while ago. I clicked on another promo that we put together. All right, I see it. So there's a few different promos on there, but this is one I want you to check out.
In the wilderness of West Africa's largest remaining rainforests are amazing discoveries. Explore Liberia's breathtaking beaches. Thrilling Green Mountain. Hitting waterfalls amidst the rich Malgasha. Unique confluences. Up close and personal encounters with nature. Parallel the point breaks in impressive ways. Adventure-filled rainforest. Discovered an authentic, exotic cultural mix, unparalleled with traditions and heritage. Meet the friendliest and most free-spirited people. Visit Liberia. Experience openness, authenticity, and optimism that will keep you longing and coming back for more, again and again and again. Liberia, amazing discoveries, the new tourism brand of Liberia.
The Liberia tourism brand and marketing strategy has been developed with the technical support of the International Trade Center in partnership with the government of Liberia and the United Nations World Tourism Organization under the Liberia Tourism Development Project, funded by the Enhanced Integrated Framework Program.
Africa's largest remaining rainforests, an amazing discovery.
All right, so fam, that was one of nice promo videos. And I have a few more on here, but don't want to take too much of our time going through them. But that is a nice energy from Liberia. Another one that I want to play real quick. This one's a short one. That is the year of the diaspora.
In 1821, a home was burnt in Providence Island. A home that once stood at the pinnacle of African decolonization. A home that has persisted in the face of atrocity and today remains more united than ever. A home where nature, culture, landscape, beaches, and history await a glorious moment to be lived. At the pinnacle of 200 years, Liberia is excited to welcome Africans in the diaspora home again. Where it all started. Rediscover and rebuild the land which has so much more to offer. Explore attractions, taste our food, experience our culture, and impact our communities. visit Liberia, December 2021 through December of 2022, the year of the diaspora.
Yes, so family, that is another one of those incredible videos that just give you a feel of the country. And this is the newsletter. So for those who want more information also on traveling with us, this is the similar information I've gone over with the tour overview and itinerary, and it provides you a few link and details. And that is the Liberia newsletter. All right, so family, appreciate your energy, and hopefully everybody was clear on all the things that we review. Greetings, my good brother, College Genesis. Welcome to the call. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, brother?
Yes, doing well. Let me just want to see if you're ready to share anything about Liberia. We've talked about the overview, the itinerary. We shared a few videos and a few pages. Want to see what you wanted to share, or if you wanted to share your experience on both times that you were in Liberia, so more people can get a feel of the importance of the country and the energy from the country based on your experience.
Oh yeah, like I said, told you earlier. I told you earlier that what I got from Liberia was the fact that it was an experience based on familiarity and an intro to Africa that I think people, when they think about like investing, that's a big thing. Now, if you're just going to visit and saying hi and goodbye, any African country will do. But when you're actually talking about connecting with people, living there, purchasing property, going in multiple times and getting involved in the country, whatever. I think this is where we have to start narrowing it down a little bit. It's been my experience, like just based on what I've seen, all the feedback I got from other African countries and stuff like that. That the people that have probably the most familiarity with Black America or the diaspora is probably Liberia. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Now, in Liberia, we already have a model, right, of success that we can tap into. That's the Liberian American community, right? They always say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Liberia, do as the Liberians do. You'll see that the Liberian Americans, what they do is they live in America, right? But they're deeply involved with Liberian politics and everything. And they usually go over sometimes twice, 3 times a year, okay? They come back to America or Canada or UK, where they're from, and everything, because they realize the country is going through a development phase. You know, this does not mean that you give up on your country. It just means that you find a way to contribute. And my opinion is, I think Black people in the diaspora can contribute to Liberia, but it has to be done a certain way. For example, what I'm talking about is if you are you work a full-time job, you got your thing, it could be a place for you considering retirement. It could be a place for you to buy property, own an Airbnb, maybe go there once a year, twice a year. It could be a place where you could meet Liberian Americans in America, and they might have a business project, or somebody in your town. Every town in America has a Liberian community association. Okay, they're very, very thorough. They're very, very vast, and so and they're open to Black Americans. A lot of Liberians attend Black churches. They go to Black HBCUs. So this is a resource that we can tap into. The Liberian community in America is always involved in African American politics and institutions and everything. And so that's an untapped thing. That's an advantage I think Liberia has over other groups of people in the Africans in the diaspora, is they do have probably the largest numbers of Africans in America, and they also, like I said, the language barrier is not there. The cultural barrier, the culture thing is very similar to Black America. The main foods. When you talk to Liberia, I think breaking the ice is really good. When you talk to a group of people and you could sit down and they could tell you about Uptown Saturday Night, or they could tell you about Richard Pryor, or they remember Richard Pryor back in the days, or they remember John Amos back in the days, or they remember Sanford and Son and stuff like that. These are things that people don't think about when they're trying to connect with a people. And you go to a people and they know absolutely nothing about you, so you're starting from scratch. And so therefore that would take generations to build a sort of culture. It can be done, but with Liberia, it's just that much easier because the people are so similar and so familiar with our culture over here. And so that's what I got when I was in Liberia. Half the time I forgot that I was in Africa, because the people are just so similar with, as far as the dress, the style, the music, just everything was just so similar. And then you got the African side of the thing that you could tap into. Liberia is a very strong traditional indigenous African culture there. So you can tap into that side too. So it's not like, well, you got to go through, uh, be completely handicapped and dealing with people. You can deal with people that can speak perfectly good English, that can read books, that can understand what you're talking about. And so that to me makes it easier when we talk about a connection. And also the laws on the books were written. Liberia's the only country in Africa where the Constitution was written for the repatriation of African Americans and diasporas to come there and live. It's still encouraged. Okay, Liberia is a cosmopolitan of many different Black cultures and African cultures in one place. So there's not one group of people, one tribe, or one group that dominates. It's a hodgepodge of different African Black people cultures, and a fusion of different African cultures. As the first restaurant we're going to see is African Fusion. In other words, a fusion African culture where you have African American, Caribbean, and traditional African food in one restaurant. You'll see that in a lot of the restaurants there. You'll see food that you're familiar with in the States. Hold on, let me let my dog back inside. So that makes it really easier as far as like even when you talk about business, when you're talking about things, like I said, I'm just looking at some of the stuff I see other people go through in other parts of Africa. There's no colonial presence. There's no white settlement in the country. So Liberia is basically with all its problems, right? It's still Black people and Black people. So you don't have the effects of a colonial past like you see them right now in West Africa, where you have in Niger, Mali, and Guinea. Those people are still suffering from the entrenched French interests in Africa. Same thing with Senegal and all these other countries and everything. You see, Liberia is a country that was never colonized, and that means a lot when you go there, and you don't see the legacy of colonialism. You don't see whites walking around freely on the beaches like they own the place. The whites there feel like strangers. They're very humble when in Liberia because they don't have that sense of conquest when it comes to Liberia. So, and also, Black people from America are very, very loved and celebrated in the country. As soon as they find out you're from the States, everybody wants to know what you have to say. Everybody wants to hear your story. Everybody wants to be next to you. So it's really thing. The challenge is the African Americans that I know that live there now. I have to get more feedback. Like I said, Great Africa says once you come there, right? He says there's a smell that you have. You're from America. Then that smell wears off. In other words, what he's saying is, okay, you come there from America, right? They expect a lot out of you. They expect you to do something. They expect you to be something and everything. If you don't do that, then after a while, you just become one of the locals and everything. But so what a lot of people do, getting back to my original point, was they go to Liberia and they invest. They go in there, they buy a property. 3 months later, they come back, they clear the land. They put the fence up. They lay the foundation. They say, okay, next year, this is my plan next year to build a frame of the house. Within a year or two, they have a home built. That's theirs. And the difference between there and a lot of other places is in Liberia, you could actually own property and own a deed. that you can build wealth with. And that's what Liberians are doing now, is they're tapping into the wealth of their properties. And you look at that Liberia to the World group. A lot of Liberians are buying homes and whatnot and tapping into the equity because it's their property. They could mortgage companies and banks. You could use your property as collateral because it's not land that's like a lease or anything, or it's land that you own. Because the land laws are written similar to the United States. So that's what Liberia has going for it. As I've seen the other people, I've seen the problems. I'm seeing a lot of other people have in Africa. And I say Liberia, that part right there. Now, some people say, well, Liberia is not this developer is gone. Yes, but you're dealing with a blank canvas. That means that you have opportunity that you may not have. You won't have as much competition as far as things are going on if you connect with the right people and do your due diligence and do your homework. So I just want to open with that. Any questions, anybody?
Yes, brother Kyle, appreciate it. Appreciate the energy and appreciate the introduction, and I appreciate your experience, your analysis, and peace for Liberia. So, family, that's our Kala Genesis, our good brother that connected us with an energy of just recommending Liberia, so we can make a nice journey. So that's who we're pushing the energy with. So appreciate the breakdown again. Just want to see if Juma, let me know if you want to unmute yourself, if you have anything to share, or yourself, Dion.
No, right now I'm just listening and just waiting for a moment to go over this visa process again. I mean, first, but let me ask you a question about the visa though. The total amount of days that we're going to be is going to be 11 or 12.
We're gonna be there for 9 days.
9 days. So
And then you can just add your travel days, which are 2 days. So it's a 12-day itinerary, 11, 12-day itinerary.
12 days. So okay, I just want to put that on the visa application because I'm gonna get mine in as soon as possible.
Yeah, and let me did you read all the information I organized on the website? And is it clear, or do you have any questions?
No, I have everything printed in a folder here on my desk. I just want to say it's nice to see that Collis is going with us. Now I look forward to meeting you there.
Yeah, I'll be there a week or two beforehand, and I'll be meeting you guys at the airport. And I'm gonna stay another few days afterwards.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be in the country. I got a lot of business to take care of.
Yeah.
So I'll be there for a good month.
Yeah. So I'm going to just go ahead and listen because there's going to be we're going to have a lot more of these before we're due to fly.
Well, not a whole lot more. There's only so much we can do because we don't want to keep on using our time to do a whole bunch of presentation because everything is on playlist where it's some stuff is repetitive, but the most
Right.
important thing is we're trying to get people to be interested in joining us. So maybe Saturday don't work out for the calls. I usually do all calls on Sunday, so maybe that's what we have to do to get the rest of the people to be flexible. We have calculated that over the years as far as the best day to get certain types of people available to do calls and things, and that's always been Sunday. But nevertheless, we push the information out and it'll be shared and posted on those different pages and individuals can go over it. But all we're talking about is the tour information, the itinerary, the overview, what's included, what's not included. And then for visa, hopefully you can see the screen clear. So this is the visa details. And usually if you need anything from us, you can just request it and let me know. So what I would say, Juma, is once you have any questions, let me know because usually what I do with the visas, I go through them, I create sample applications, and I create all the information that someone would need. That way, when you have the email, you can have an easier time to filling it out. And so what I can do before you jump into it, I can actually fill out the application and create that email. This is the only country that I don't have that email created for. And Egypt, the staff crew over there decided that they were gonna take it on and do it for us. So that's included in the package. So I got you, Juma, but let me know if you have a direct questions about the visa right now while you're looking at it. And I'm
Well,
just
I mean, I do see the email for sending in the application, but the to send the money, the $160. Processing fee, money order payable.
What I would recommend is cashier's check, and then if you do the postal money order, that's always convenient because you're already at the post office.
Right.
And then we'd have to get you a copy of the flight itinerary, which is simple to do because we have a group booking in place already.
Right.
And so, but you don't need it's not the airline ticket, it's actually a flight itinerary. You need to change that. And as long as your visa is good for more than 6 months, you're fine with it. So these are just the basic details.
And Bomani,
some of these things may be a little bit too much, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on that. So, but I definitely always want to at least let everyone know that we have some visa information up. But I don't want anyone to go into a situation where they're doing the visa application and they're stressing or struggling.
Right.
And so yeah, we're still a ways away. So give me until the end of the month. I'll have something put together, and then I'll send everyone a visa email.
Okay.
And then also, Kala, you right here on the line. If you have anything to share with the visa process and things like that, this is the application, and you're gonna download the application, fill it out, and put all the requirements, in your mailing envelope, and send it all in, and that is it. It's actually that simple, but my process is simpler because it does everything for you, and then it also put all the information in the notes in the email as far as the things that they ask for on the application, like hotels when you're traveling, things like that, even though some of it is basic information.
Right.
But a good brother, Kala, you have done Liberia visa the first time, and I know you did it different a second time, but if you want to share any of it, let me know.
The first time I used Rapid Visa Pro, and it's 160 for the visa, and it was like another 120 for their service, and I got my visa. They stamped it. You send your passport with them, and they get it stamped, whatever, in DC, at the embassy, and they send it back to you, certified mail. It's really efficient. The second time, I got a diplomatic visa, from the government, because when I had met Ross, and Ross was connected with the Ministry of Tourism and stuff like that. And when they heard that there were some Black people in America interested in coming there for tourism, potential investors, or whatever like that, they made sure that I got a diplomatic visa. That was for 90 days. Okay. So that was.
Well, perfect. So I was mentioning to you one time as far as if you want your people to organize visas and they want to have their fees and everything, then that's fine, because when you did it with Rapid Visa Pro, these are companies I don't recommend because you're spending an extra $100. So what I try to do is find the people in the country that we're working with, and then give them some of that money, and then you save some of that money. Other than the information that's on the website is information doing it on your own. So you won't have to pay the $100 and $20 fee. So family that's listening, just trying to explain to you how visa process work. You can go with a third-party company, but understand the third-party company still wants you to fill out all the information, and then you're gonna send it to them, and then they'll handle the rest for you and things like that. But that's it's professional business services. Me personally, I've never used any of them because I'm a business administrator. It's just so easy to do these things, but some people may not have that ease. So what I recommend, family, is let me create this email together, and it'll make it so simple and easy. You know what I mean? If I can pull it off for the Brazil visa, and other visas are complicated, the Ghana visa, I could definitely do it for the Liberia visa. The Liberia visa is simple, like the Gambian visa. And then you can save yourself some money. So these are the options that we shared. Kala shared the two options that he worked out, and I'm sharing with you what we have on the site. And it's one of those things where if you have questions at any moment on these things, you can always call. And whatever I don't know, because I'm not an expert on everything, I will always do my best to do research to make sure that it works out for you. Because part of accommodating you to the country is making sure that you have all the requirements to get to the country, and that includes having a visa. But Juma, appreciate you bringing that up so we can actually go through it.
Because the visa process is, I know it's relatively simple for me. I've done it multiple times, but for anybody that's going on the tour, that's probably going to be the most detailed and part of the application that you have to have done correctly. One other question. When it says for the two references, that puts you down as one, and the second one.
Yeah, the second one could be the tour guide. I can always give you the tour guide information.
Tour guide, okay, all right.
So, and then, so when the application comes, what I'll do once I fill it out, I'll have a PDF copy and it'll be attached to the email.
Yeah.
And that same information will be put inside the email also.
Right,
so that would make it 100% easy.
Right.
And then if there's anything that's crazy inside the email, I'll call the embassy and find out from them to be clear about it, or I'll look more into it. But just like you have traveled me to Tanzania, that was easy, right?
Yeah.
One email was sent to you. You click on a link and and then and we do professional technology and business support, so we can always remotely connect into your computer or just walk you through any process that you need. Right. So Juma, let me know if you while we're talking about the tour overview and the itinerary, or just anyone else that's listening, do you have any questions on any of the information that's included, or the schedule, or everything looks good for you?
No, but there'll be an option for a pool or the ocean, right?
The resort is on the beach and they do have a pool. So one of the things I didn't talk about was pool parties. So the goal is to create as much of the vibrant experience as possible, because part of doing this journey is also doing it to market the energy of what you're doing, because you're limited when you're doing it without those things. Like you've seen over the years, you came on the way back end of when we was doing Ghana, but you just probably all you had to do was just look up online and type a few things, and next a whole bunch of things came up.
Right. So
that's the goal, to do it every country, and that's the goal definitely to do it Liberia. So I would love to just get things to open more people energy. So I don't want to put too many things above people's heads. We talk about business investment conference, living and doing business. I also want to tell people about the social nightlight gathering, and also things like dominoes, cards, us just being out socially, but photo shoots on the beach, but definitely pool parties, a few of them, and letting everybody know that they must come in swimwear. Yeah. And then we're recording and we're gonna have a good time.
Paula says, are you going to be part of the business conference and investment conference?
Yes, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And also I have several Liberians that I'm going to get to come in to the investment conference. My friend Sam Cooper, who's my partner, Liberia BAO Liberia Corporation. That's my partner right there. I have my guy Ross, my assistant there, and several other people. I might even try to see if I can get Madam Cooper to show up. She's a minister of agriculture. Wow. And let me tell you a story about how she got the job as Minister of Agriculture.
Yeah.
I introduced.
What's the ratio from the American dollar to their currency?
Right now, it's like one American dollar is 200 Liberian dollars.
200 Liberian dollars. Wow.
Yeah. Also, Juma, he was trying to explain something. So, Kala, if you can finish explaining what you explained about the lady Cooper.
Now, the Cooper family, right? Sam, my partner, is part of the Cooper family, but he comes from a different branch, right? They go back to the founding of the country. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sam's father built S.J. Cooper Road right off of near Painesville. Okay. Yeah. And there he has a couple of properties that I'm going to be renting from him, and a couple of properties I'm gonna build an office there, and that's 2 buildings, and I'm gonna take both of them eventually. And he has like a hotel on it, right? He leases the front part out to these girls that have like a little bar, whatever like that in the front. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the one part my office, our office for the BAO, and that's gonna be like it's gonna run like not just a corporation but an agency where for fees, people, if they need stuff done in the country, they need lawyer, they need accountants, they need records done, wherever paperwork there, that we do it, and we're gonna charge a fee for it. So that's gonna be our office in headquarters in Liberia. Madam Cooper is a minister of agriculture, right? How
Yeah.
she got the job was I introduced her to Dinah Samir. Okay,
Yeah.
I've known her for years. She goes back to University of Michigan. She went there with Magic Johnson. You know, she was very beautiful when she was young. I mean, my God, she's like a stunning model when she was young. You know, but she went to University of Michigan with Magic Johnson. She graduated with Magic Johnson. And anyway, she basically in 1979 when she was in there, there was a documentary that came out on 60 Minutes, created this so-called thing about America, Liberia. She said that's not the country I know. She said they're ruling elite and all stuff like that. It's a 60-minute documentary that if Bomani wants to play it, he can, show you what I'm talking about. She said, man, the 60 Minute really messed up our image of Liberia. She said she had to go explain herself. No, that's not how the Liberia we know. We're black people, we're Africans, everything like that. That's not, the West doesn't want to see a black people that they could put the difference aside and build a country. And that same year they had the rice riots and they had the coup of 1980, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, she told that whole story on Dinah Samir's channel, right? And I introduced them to, and Dinah's met her, right, and did 2 interviews with her, and she broke down the history of the country and everything. And because of that video, right, and she worked with the World Bank and she worked with all these different NGOs, the government of Liberia saw the video and basically asked her to join the Way administration as a Minister of Agriculture.
Okay.
You know, and also I have another guy, Armstrong Jabba, right? This brother goes way back, right? He looks young, but he's older. You know, he lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but he has like several operations in Liberia that he grows everything from onions to rice. Liberia is becoming self-sufficient in rice production. He's built homes, he does everything, brick making, everything, And I'm at the cost. I'm going to call it. We got to sit down and talk,
Yeah.
because even though I tried to plug in with Madam Cooper, right? But he says, the problem is, they can't get. He's doing all private sector, right? He's not getting really a lot of help from the government because the government says there's limited funding for what they're trying to do. So other projects that really need the money get it, right? So he's been using outside investment funds to do all his projects. But he's growing rice in Liberia, like in every county in Liberia. You got a rice field. He goes, this is not Asia, this is Liberia. And I'm looking at this swamp rice. I'm like, because he goes back to the Tolbert administration when they had the Rally Time projects, right? They're gonna make Liberia self-sufficient in rice, and that's his goal, is to make Liberia self-sufficient rice. 100-pound bag of rice goes for how much? What the price was? I forgot the price. I think it was $10. 10 US dollars for a 50-pound bag of rice. And it's hitting the Liberian market. And Liberians are buying local made grown rice. And they're soon going to replace the imported rice from India, and also like Liberia used to import its own rice, and then it started growing its own rice, and then some detractors, right, created this myth about Liberia trying to starve the people and everything. No, Tolbert wanted the people to be self-sufficient in rice, right? But a lot of people just wanted to move to Monrovia and didn't see his vision. But now people see that, yeah, we got to get back to that, self-sufficient rice. Liberia is growing, because of Armstrong, Liberia is now growing onions for the first time. Before they was importing onions, now they're growing. Great African, my partner, right? I said, something, we got to grow onions. He goes, Kala Mori ahead of you. I already sent my first batch of onion seeds to my farm. So we got a lot of people. My partner Sam, cocoa, rubber, all things on his land. He has diamonds. He has iron ore on his land, right? He has 300 acres in Marshall, right? And he told me that we could take like 30 acres of land. We're going to put that in a land trust, right? And use that for development. Use that for housing and build an industrial zone and stuff like that. That's our goal. So
Yeah.
so we have a lot going on in Liberia like that. I don't see anybody on this level, anywhere in Africa that's this close to government officials. Like when I'm in Liberia, I meet government officials, and they listen to what you got to say, but you got to deliver. They'll listen, but they'll listen once, but you got to deliver. That's why I've been careful about who I send to them and who I recommend. Okay, until we have our stuff together, we step to them with a program and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. This is our guys. This is what and I have a couple other guys that's there. Dr. Jules Larry, he hasn't gone to the continent yet. He hasn't gone to Liberia yet, but he's a doctor, right? He doesn't know much about Liberia. He's a little loud and arrogant, but I just shut up and listen to him. He's older, he's elder. So I listen to him and everything like that. But he's investing a lot of money, bringing a lot to Liberia. They just bought a couple of buildings in Cape Mount. You'll see that in Robertsport. A couple of buildings that they're rehabbing. They're gonna make it like a youth center and stuff like that. So that's the stuff we're working on. Another African American brother that's retired, right? Brought his own bulldozers and excavators, stuff like that, and doing road projects. So there's a lot of people, that's connected with us, network and everything, but they're doing what they can do and everything, but there's not really one coordinated thing. I hope to one day bring the sort of energy where all these people that I know can start working together. But right now, everybody's really doing their own thing. They'll listen to me here and there, but until actually there's something really substantial, then people get involved, and that's rightfully so.
Yeah.
I love your ideas, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So and so I said I figured this trip right here will be the first attempt, right, to say that there's people serious from Optum. Now let me give you an example. There are people, black people go there, but they're not in the Pan African world. They're not like that. They see those people all day. White people going there, Liberia, in droves. Chinese people going there in droves. Lebanese people and Indian people there. And there's some black people. And the thing that's keeping Liberia afloat is I gotta give credit to the Liberian Americans, because they're going back there, and you got young Liberians becoming millionaires, open up everything. You got one Liberian brother who got a contract to distribute Chinese beer, right, and
Yeah.
liquor. Because he's a millionaire now. Guy's only 34 years old.
But
And
when you
you got a brand exclusive to distribute, right? Nobody else can distribute it. And it's backed up because Liberia got a very good court system. Despite all the problems you see about Liberia, our ancestors built Liberia, made sure the court system right. That's why when a lot of our ancestors fled Liberia in 1980, they was able to go back to Liberia and get their properties back, because the records and everything are solid. Every last single property that people lost, right? They go in there. You don't own this land. You get out. You got to get out. I don't care what you built on it. This property is not yours. You got to get out. So.
okay.
I appreciate, Kala. Appreciate you breaking it down. Juma, does that make everything clear?
Yes, it does. But like I can't wait to, like I said, I can't wait to meet him, because I have a 1,000 questions, because, like I told you before, I still romanticize moving to Africa. And, I think it would be a lot more difficult transition for me since I'm older now. So we'll talk more, Colossus, when I get there.
Perfect. Dion, you're on the line, Dion. Hey, greetings, brother. So we went to
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah.
I'm here. I'm on the line.
Yeah,
I
so
don't really have many questions. I don't have any questions right now. I mean, as the information is disseminated out, I'm just excited to be able to go chop it up with y'all and figure out how to make some money in Liberia.
Well, perfect. Looking forward to you bringing more of your associates with us if they're open. We still have time.
I have a question for you, Omani.
Hey, greetings. Introduce yourself.
My name is Brothers Doing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you have to start back over.
Okay, I said, good evening, brothers. How y'all doing?
Doing well. I was trying to get you to introduce yourself. Your name, where you're calling from.
Okay.
Your name, age, and pronoun.
Shut the hell up. Hey, Los Angeles, California. Looking forward to going on this trip with you, brothers, to see what I can do over there also in Liberia.
Well, perfect. You're with an energy of movers and shakers, and that's the purpose of this journey, is for us to come together and see how we can put together something organized. For the first time ever, really, just organized to where we start up front to where things are clear and we're prepared and we're ready and we have it together. Versus, some of the things you have seen going on in other countries, because you're blindsided. So our goal, and I'm not saying that we're not gonna get blindsided by anything, but the goal is to make sure that we have people that we can work with to where we're not blindsided and to where we can get things done and be efficient. So definitely want to make sure that all of us that are coming to do business can be properly accommodated and properly connected. And I've talked to Carl about this to make sure that when we're dealing with people that we're dealing with, make sure that number one, we're clear with them on what we're doing, and then we work with them as far as what we're trying to do, because there's always a gap between business knowledge and things like that when it comes to this. Whoever you work, whoever you are connecting with, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, or whether it's Africa, America, or so on. So that's our goal. And at this point in the game, with all this experience I've had going across Africa, our goal is to make sure things are in place, because you hear about issues with land and people getting taken for this and this happening to this person. And when these people are your friends, your associate, your members, and things like that, it's rough to deal with. So I want to make sure that anyone that's coming with us, make sure that they put in proper hands to do any of the things that they're looking to do, and make sure they're protected and look out for it. And then make sure that we build an energy to where we can build communities and towns together, so we can put our money together and invest and compete with the likes of the foreigners, versus just complaining about them.
I like that. Hey, Bomani, let me ask you this. So I was reading the itinerary. I was lost a little bit. So we're not traveling like we did in Tanzania, huh?
No, yeah, Tanzania is a whole different beast, man. It's you have to get on no, what we're doing is drive. We're gonna be, most of the time we're gonna be around Monrovia, and even when we have to go down to Grambassa County or Robertsport, it's maybe looking at about an hour drive. But as far as doing any long drives like we're doing in Ghana, or do ferry boats and internal flights in the country, now Liberia is a different terrain. You just you're on a tour bus and that takes you around. And then we may have one long ride, but and it may not work, but I want to finalize that with the tour guide once they take a look at the sequence, because you just need someone on the ground who have moved around the country and things like that. And that's why it's so easy for me to do things in certain other countries, because we have the experience and we have people who know the terrain. So that's our goal to check out. But it's that's one of the things. No long ride. Even in Tanzania, it was no long ride. It was just that long ride from in Zanzibar. So you're gonna have occasionally a few of those.
Okay. Okay. I was just kind of, I just want to get clarity on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only one major airport that we know of, and there's no waterway system. So that's the beautiful thing about experience and traveling to different parts of Africa. It's just incredible. Like, I've been around. Only part of Africa I haven't been to is the central part of Africa. The two Congos and whatever other countries are around that area. I haven't been to any of them. The closest we've ever been to Central Africa is Tanzania, and the closest we were gonna get was Rwanda. But that's the beauty of it. So encourage more people to make their way around the African continent, and you'll get a good feel. Like when you go to South Africa, that's another part of the continent. It's completely different. And then you go to North Africa and Egypt, you're like, how do they do all of this in the desert?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the good thing about it, all those countries I talk about, we travel to, and we have schedules for, because they give you so much dynamic difference. So,
and this 10 days, Bomani?
Yes, 10 days.
Okay. All right, that's about all I had. What you got for him, Ewan?
Nothing.
Well, Ronnie, I wanted to find out. We're trying to get some of your LA friends to join us. I haven't called Dip yet, but I was looking to add him to my call list as I call people, because what we're trying to get this recruiting going on. We're running out of time, so that's what make sure. We just want to make sure nobody come and reach out to us at the last minute, because we hate to say no at the last minute, because we really want people on, but they have to be ready ahead of time.
And it's not for lack of trying, because I've been putting those announcements on the tours out there for months.
Yeah, you talking about their flyers?
Yeah, I've been putting them everywhere.
The only bad thing about the flyers is because trust me, I've ordered almost 100,000 flyers over the last few years, and I mail them out, and I'm out here. I got stacks of them in the car, and you put them in all your favorite restaurants in the neighborhood in the city. You have them there, and it's like one of those things. Especially when you put them at a Jamaican restaurant. When you go there, you got haters be trying to throw your stuff away, but at the same time, too, it's just not a big interest for Black people going to Africa.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's something they may be open to a conversation with and say, oh, that's cool, and things like that. But as far as sacrificing their money that they're going to pay their Jordans and pay for certain things and pay for other things that they want, they're not trying to hear that, and things like that. So we keep on trying to market it to them, but eventually it will hit because it's a lot more. I remember it was 100 times harder like 15 years ago. But I'm surprised that, you know, more people haven't called from the flyers, say, hey, I saw these flyers all over Virginia Beach. Hey, I got a flyer from Virginia Beach. Hey, I got a flyer from LA. You know, it's like people who have flyers are in different states than me. And you see the reflection of the journey. You may have some, but I'm still wondering what they do with them flyers when they pick them up.
I know, because I go back and then and they're gone. But the places that I go to, I know that the proprietors are not throwing those away. And as far as, you know, renewed interest in Africa, that will overcome itself as soon as it gets taught into the school system. As soon as, you know, Black children start to get educated about who they really are, then you'll see an uptake on that. I'll be gone. Ronnie will probably be gone, but it will happen. We just hope that it's not.
I have no doubt that these things will happen, and that's why we're in a continuous fight to share, to talk, to travel, to, like, when you look on my YouTube page and look at the videos, sometimes I'm like, wow, is like that's what people think of me. Is like we create these incredible documentation, these footage. I'm not saying that all the videos don't get a bunch of views, but some of them get decent views. But it's like when you look at it, it's like, but then I realized that, well, you know, other people, like, you know, you have other people have things that are quote unquote more interesting than, you know, than going to Africa for tourism, investment, and nation building and Pan-Africanism and building a future for your children and competing with the rest of the world powers and competing with other people. And that's probably a lot other things that they have on there. I mean, the gossip and the drama. So I've seen to where it's so much trash out there to where people not paying people like myself anymore. But nevertheless, you know me, I'm a fighting man. So even today, a text, whether it's on a text on WhatsApp, your phone, I posted the stuff on my different Facebook pages. I send out the reminder of the email and probably called a few people, and, you know, and appreciate the people who showed up and everything. But it's the numbers are very small when it comes to the action of this. So I just try to just stay focused and try to find other people that want to just put the work in and connect. But and I'm sure more of those people, when they see the information, sometimes it takes people a while to process it. You know, as people have called me over the years and say, hey, I remember in 2010, I went to a restaurant and I found your postcard and I was moving and I just found it again. And it's like 7 years later. Or I got a DVD, like the one person was, well, and one of my Jamaican brothers showed up here, and you know, he was saying, yeah, I got a CD that you put together in 2006. That's when we were doing marketing. We're putting CD presentation and things. As the time go along, you evolve with your marketing information. And so back then, everything was printed. Everything was a DVD, a CD, a video, a pamphlet, a flyer, something. So you end up just traveling to Ghana with me literally like 10 years later. And then another person said, you know, I showed up at a house party, you know, full of energy, was talking about Africa. So it's like you get one or two people from every little space and every little energy, but it's the percentages that's that rough. And then when I'm talking about 1%, that's like 1 out of 100. And it made it even be smaller sometimes, 1 out of 1,000, you know, 0.1%. But that's the fight in this movement. But appreciate everyone joining and literally just reaching out to their friends and people giving the word of mouth and people out there just sharing it, because together, you know, it's an energy that's gonna work for us, because we're not just talking about just going to Africa and just having a good time. I heard several people on this call literally talking about opening their minds to business. As a matter of fact, everybody have said something about business or investment, or they want to see what kind of opportunity it is. So Kala, this is the kind of energy that we have. If you're still up, Kala.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. They got Jamal getting ready to come on when I see what he got to say. He's always bullshitting.
Appreciate Jamal coming on, and also, brother, yeah, I meant to link with you earlier to find out if you want me to do one of those live that I send feature topics. You know, once I get off, I can up it. It depends on if you're full of energy, you're tired, or so on. Only thing I can do right now is
I'm always ready to do a show, a live show at night.
So I'll work on that and get your stuff sent. And anybody who want to join us, you can always find the details on the YouTube channel. And I'll do my best to post it around as many places as possible. And so we're gonna get into these topics, get into these things. That way.
Hey, Bomani, I got a question.
Sure, go ahead, brother.
How much spending money you think we need?
Juma, how much money you need to bring on the tour?
Well, he's not going to take it as much as I do. Collis has said that it's 200. It's 200 to 1, right? One American dollar to $200, not dollars, but whatever you call the currency there. So you can imagine
Liberian dollars.
Yeah, but I'm single, no kids. I usually just take $5,000, and I end up.
Wow.
I love you, man. That's how much I spend. But the bottom line is, if you're there, to be honest with you, if the meals are included, whatever like that, what I would suggest everybody do is always basically buy, or like when we go downtown. One day we gotta go downtown and basically buy. Like I got my Liberian necklace on, stuff like that. You could buy stuff like that. I meant to get this one guy that I could buy his stuff and sell them on eBay. This Liberian necklace. I'm outside right now, so if you can see all this. One of my Liberian necklace right here. I bought these 2 years ago. I bought a bunch of them for $2 a piece, right? He sold me this time, right? He's like, "Oh, you again?" And he charged me $4 for this time. But I can still sell these things. It's carved Liberia, carved Liberia, the country of Liberia, carved in wood, and it basically is a necklace, right? You got the keychains, all stuff like that, and there's beads and stuff like that. And there's a lot of art and stuff like that. Buy that stuff, there's a lot of ornaments. So the more you're buying and spending money in the country and stuff like that, the more they love you.
I don't usually end up spending all of that, but I wanted to tell that brother that it's going to be worth it for you to put the XE currency converter app on your cell phone, right? Okay. And when you do that, when you put the XE currency converter on your cell phone, you can take a look at that and and get a better idea about what you might want to take.
And another thing I'm going to tell you, brothers, right this is a lot of Liberians are using mobile money, the vendors and everything like that. All you need is the SendWave, whatever, and MTN, right? And all you do is put their phone number in, and you can send them how much money. So you don't. Let me tell you something. The first time I went there, I spent so much money on ATM. The second time I went to Liberia, right, I saved so much money on ATM fees because I was paying everybody with the MTN. It's like what $2 as a $1 as opposed to $7.50 every time you go to an ATM. And stuff like this. So, so you don't even have to have a lot of cash a lot of time, even in the gas station, right? You could put your phone up to the scan the phone, right, and the biometrics, right, and then pay for the gas like that. There's a lot of restaurants too that got the scan too. A lot of services in Liberia using scan technology. We can scan your thing and put your information in and pay. So you don't have to. You're not carrying around a lot of cash. But if you want like sodas, drinks, stuff like that on the side of the road, there's always gonna be somebody trying to sell you sodas and drinks and stuff like that on the side of the road and whatnot. Bring the Liberian dollars. Get the Liberian dollars.
So
10
those are two apps that you mentioned, right?
Yeah, it's SendWave. And then when you get to the country, it links
SendWave.
MTN. When you get to the country, your phone number will be linked to MTN when you have a SendWave. And then when you put somebody's information, or you just put their phone number in, and the country code and everything, and you can send.
Do they have World Remit?
They got World Remit.
World Remit.
World Remit. But a lot of people like SendWave. They like it better than World Remit.
All right, that's cool.
I use both, but SendWave is the best. Most everybody uses SendWave.
Let me ask you about the hotel, Bomani. What kind of hotel we staying at this time?
The hotel is gonna be the RLK Keneja Resort. So let me.
You got a video of that?
Yeah,
that's Bill Johnson of BET.
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
In the paperwork where you can go straight to You can pull it up on your computer and take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, but Carla was asking about a video, so I'll play a quick video real quick.
Pretty nice.
That
And
is,
what I like about Contagion, let me say this, is the fact that it was built by Robert Johnson, right, in 2010, right? Because of Robert Johnson and Cynthia Nash. I think, Bamai, did you remember me, Cynthia Nash, at Atlanta? She was a Liberian honorary consul general, you know, like a black lady.
I
And basically,
I never met her physically.
but we connected though. Anyway,
Text something.
they got the first connecting flights to Liberia, major with Delta, and it was a big thing with Delta opened up the connecting lines between Liberia and thing. But Liberia had a certain amount of time to get its airport up running. Then Delta suspended flights because the airport wasn't ready in time, in a timely manner. Now the airport's ready, so it's a matter of time before Delta starts resuming flights. When he built the Candasia Resort, right? The symbolic of that is a black man from America is basically reinvesting in a country that has a history. Like he said, the first 8 presidents were African Americans. You know, and the country, he looked at the law. He's somebody that knows about business, right? And the way the laws are on the books is very favorable to business. If we want a country to put money into, Liberia doesn't have a lot of external debt. Okay, that's a big thing. It doesn't have a burden with a bunch of loans from the IMF and the World Bank. Uh, Liberia does not have a stock exchange yet. That's something that in the future that we could play a role in helping establish. You know, Liberia's commodities, like the one brother was saying the other night, Hakeem was saying that we need a commodities markets and stuff like that instead of, you know, for our stuff. These are things that, like I said, future generations of us, we can lay the foundation for, you know, as far as like a country that says, you know, why don't we have, there's not one black African American bank operating on the continent. Not one, you know. Uh, uh, One thing we have not mastered in the black world, at least in America, is banking. I say the 2 biggest black banks emerged and they only got $1 billion in assets. Ask how much Bank of America's assets are. Almost $1 trillion. The two biggest black banks in America combined, right? They merged together. It's only barely $1 billion in assets. So, like I said, banking would be a good thing. Banks finance infrastructure, they finance housing, mortgages, and all these other things like that, credit, and all these things like that. And I think Liberia being like a blank canvas, right? In other words, there's no real ties to the World Bank, the IMF, or the Euro, or the Europe, the francophone banks, and all stuff like this. It could be an excellent place. That's what Bob Johnson's dream was, but he went there, and the Liberians couldn't see his vision. They were short-sighted. You're dealing with people that didn't understand this. So he invested his money in Candasia, and he gave $30 million for small business loans, and he sort of left the country because I guess he wasn't getting the thing, because Sirleaf wasn't prioritizing what he was trying to do. They thought the Liberians, when Sirleaf got in power, they were sort of feeling themselves a little bit. We got all these people coming here and everything. They really thought they had all these options, right? Now they're saying, damn, how did Ghana, getting $1 billion a year return, and we're not getting these people? Now they're looking at, what the hell did we do wrong? You didn't reach out to Black America. Bob Johnson with that Candasia Hotel, he didn't build that hotel in Ghana. He didn't build that in Sierra Leone. He didn't build that in Senegal. His first major investment in Africa was Liberia. And at the time, they didn't appreciate what he did. But now a new generation of Liberians like, yo, look, if we got to start, connecting with the diaspora. We were the country of the diaspora. We're the original years. Last year they had the year return because of the Dynasty Samir. When he went to Liberia and he talked to the Ure girl, right, Tilea's sister, and basically it came out and said, well, isn't Liberia should be, that was 2020. He said, isn't Liberia should be the original year return country, since more Black people in diaspora settle here than any other place? And she said, yeah. And so that began settling around. And guess what happened? Over 2 years, they had the biggest celebration, year-long celebration of the first African Americans who settled on Providence Island. That was a festival of events that attracted people from all over the world. And so they're like, wow, this is something to this. So they're starting to embrace that history of repatriation of the diaspora and stuff like that. Before, that history was scorned. Oh man, the Congo people came here and everything. Now they embrace it. Now you don't see any Liberians talking bad about the Congo people or American Liberians and everything. Now they want to be part of this history. They're like, well, that's what put us on the map. That's what created us a country. And because of them, they have a country. You got Liberians in up country right now, don't understand why that they can own land now and go to the county and get it deeded and get collateral and get loans from it. You can't do that in Guinea. You can't do that in Ivory Coast. You can't do that in all these surrounding countries. It was what our ancestors put in place in Liberia that the Liberians are benefiting from. Now, I don't know if they think that was his magic, but why is Liberia the only country in Africa where you don't have to worry about Zimbabwe? We got sanctions on it because they took back their land from white farmers. Where you got whites in South Africa owning everything. There's no white farmers or no white settlement in Liberia. So,
Thank you for that, Collis.
Yes, Carla, appreciate you breaking down the history of it all and the importance of why we need to connect and build Liberia. So family, please let's keep on sharing information and keep reaching out to our folks. And right now it is 13 of us, and we're gonna build that strong energy and show up their numbers. And Carla share with us that he's gonna have some of his folks work with us at business investment conference and get some of the people that have interest in traveling with us that want to do business. Have the right people to connect with. So that's what we're working on, family. So anyone ever want to connect with us and reach out and connect. But we do have to close. We did just have somebody just get on. Since you are on, if you want to share a few words, introduce yourself, and then let us know what's on your mind. All right, the person just came in, Acer. That's what's on your username.
Hey, what's going on? What's up, Colin? Romani? Yeah, I'm just tapping in, listening to the kind of loud.
Yeah, we don't know who you are. Can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yeah. This Jamal, part of the BAIO.
All right, perfect.
I'm just listening to the convo right now because it's kind of loud where I'm at, so I can't really talk right now. But if you give me a couple minutes, I'm definitely
perfect.
tapping.
So we can hear you loud and clear. Don't sound loud back there. But so you're calling, let us know you're joining us for Tanzania, joining us for Liberia. So many countries.
Yeah. Well, I need to know the details. I don't know all the details. I know it's what is next year, right?
Yeah, Kala, you know this man. Get this man some information if that's one of your people.
Because, It's next year, next March, Jamal. March 29th to April 9th, 10th, something like that.
Yeah, March 29th to April 9th.
April 9th, so we're gonna be there. And like I said, this is like the grand tour. It's gonna set a lot of stuff off because once this tour goes down on record and stuff like that, there's gonna be many tours and stuff like that, and people going there on their own. It's gonna put Liberia on the map as far as like the Pan-African movement, like it's never been done before. And so, we're looking forward to this. And like I said, I encourage anybody to BAO to join us and everything. The price is reasonable. We're gonna have a good time, a good time exploring the country and stuff like that. Really, really connecting and building, and it's a journey of a lifetime. The first journey of a lifetime. So I expect people to join us and contribute, to this tour, And so Jamal went on the tour with the first BAO group to Rwanda.
Yeah. I was on that tour, man. Yeah, I definitely was on the first one.
Yeah, I don't know how organized that was, but what we do here at Africa for the Africans is straight 100% professionalism, organizations, operation to the highest level, 100% based on experience. And then we work on everything is prepared and organized ahead of time. So I'm not sure how that situation worked out in Rwanda, but you can definitely share with us and let us know.
Oh yeah. I mean, Rwanda experience, great, beautiful country, beautiful people, all that stuff. But yeah, sometimes when you go on tours, all personalities ain't gonna match. So that was kind of, something you had to get used to. One thing about social media, and I have learned that you can talk to somebody all day, on social media, stuff like that. But until you meet them, you don't really know how their energy is, So, Rwanda thing, it was interesting, when you meet different personalities. But yeah, but I encourage people to go on tours. You get to meet new people. It's not going to work your way all the time, but the total Rwanda tour, I give it a C. I mean, a C plus. You know what I mean? So it was some highs and lows, but it's all good.
Well, perfect. So share with us. We have a little time. Share with us some of those highs and some of those lows.
Let's say. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. Just one example, right? You go on a tour. Like I say, you can meet people all day in person, right? Go on a tour. This is your first time meeting the people. For example, and I hate to say this, it was some LGBT there.
Whoa!
And I wasn't kind of expecting that. You know what I mean? Because I'm a heterosexual man, so my spaces, I like heterosexual spaces. Like, you know what I mean? Not that I'm looking for. It's just a natural thing, right? So once you get on tour, right. Once you get on tour, you're like, okay, that person's into that. I'm like, you know what I mean? So you kind of like, you watching what you say, it's just kind of uptight. So, and then some of the guys was, socially awkward too, right? You can tell they're kind of like online personalities, but in person, the personality didn't match. So, so that was the dynamic I had to go through. But I wish, only thing I regret, I wish I probably would have met them before the tour, and then I would have had, a better general idea of who I'm going with, man, because you can't go with everybody. So,
Absolutely. I appreciate
yeah.
you explaining that. So I usually always just make sure that we share with everyone, the people we travel and rolling with. We're in groups together and we do conference calls together. But yeah, what we're doing is a straight, for Black Power and Nation building. So, none of those things to where you're gonna be worrying about a white person, some weirdo showing up and things like that. So that's one thing we do professionally. And I got Juma on here. Juma has been to a few different countries with me, and he knows the flow of the people that we keep or connect with, because the greatest thing is the energy that you're pushing out. People are gonna connect to that energy. So if you're pushing out that energy like you in love and open to all kind of other people, well, you're gonna attract those people. So when someone go and they see brothers with beautiful sisters, like with ridiculous amount of pictures and videos that we have, and then they see a whole energy full of just dark skin all the way to the lightest light of Black people all connecting together, just Black people in general, that connects them. So if you're somebody outside of that energy, it'll be hard for you to connect with somebody like myself. Even when I talk to you verbally and things like that, you're just not gonna feel my energy, and you're gonna, so we only attract the people like us, what I mean, and things like that. So that's the best thing about what we are building. And this journey is gonna be a journey more of, so far it's more brothers on this journey, because me and Kala has been marketing the energy of that situation and things, and marketing it as a certain type of energy to where, we want more sisters to come, but it's one of the few journeys I've had of lately where it's high percentages of brothers. So this is a tour for, real strong brothers about nation building.
Right. That's great. That's important, because I think we do need that level of nation building amongst men, man. You don't really have that, and I travel a lot, and I talk to a lot of the brothers, but I think this is what I see, and I talk to a lot of brothers that travel. It seems like the women, man, are leading the charge and going to West Africa, at least, I try to get brothers, man, to go to Africa. They're not interested for the most part. Don't get me wrong. You got one-offs that want to make it and stuff like that, but a lot of those brothers, man, that's well-to-do, that can add value, they're just not interested. And I can't push it on nobody, but I do think we definitely need that kind of nation building amongst the people.
Absolutely. Sure. So people like myself, yeah, it's me and Kala talk about this. It's very difficult, but what you have to do is you have to transform yourself into that person that is going to command people respect and energy. Like some people, they just definitely not coming to Africa, but it's like, they'll show you the love and the respect, and then you'll get people who just want to connect with you based on your energy of what you're pushing and things like that, and it would eventually inspire people. And it may not be this year, next year. And I've talked earlier in the conference call about all the people that I've connected with over the years, and some of them are people that we have met to where the situation is, they found information 5 years ago. But nevertheless, our family, we can definitely keep on talking and share more information about Liberia. I definitely do appreciate everybody joining us, and Jamal, appreciate you joining and sharing your experience and things like that. That's why I tell people to make sure that they're clear about who they're traveling with and who they're rolling with before they get committed to certain things, because some people have certain beliefs in certain things, and this is not going to change. So, and then also, Jamal, you mentioned one thing as far as some people are not interested, but yeah, that's the situation now. But so we keep on doing what we do as a people, and the energy will get there. Because one thing I know about our people, they like to ride the bandwagon. So if nation building is the bandwagon and really going out there and doing the work, and Kala, one day we're gonna make it one of those trends, Kala, where you don't have to have a bunch of pressure on yourself, and other people can just organically deliver. You don't have to chase them.
It's like moving mountains and shit,
Hey, Kyla, what I used to say to you, I used to have this running joke, man. I was like, man, I wish one of these top rappers would like scream out nationhood or something, to make it trendy,
Exactly.
I always would say something like that. Yeah.
Ever since they took over hip hop, whatnot, they got rid of Boy Righteous Teachers, X Clan, and all these other people, and got these clowns up there. Forget that. Remember back in the day, that was powerful. They'll talk about too black, too strong, and all stuff like that, you know, and all this Pan African stuff. They'll talk 5% stuff. I used to do the 5% of stuff back in the days. That was probably, they had to get rid of that shit, you know. Dropping Science, the Motherland, all that stuff's gone from the hip hop. Now everything still is Cristal, Moet, friggin' Fendi, Gucci, and all this kind of stuff like that.
Hey, Kylie, you know what's crazy? It's funny you said that, right? And I was talking to this is a well-known producer. I was having a conversation with him, and he was saying, you know what, bro? He was like, to be honest with you, hip hop only had like a 2-year Pan African run. And I thought about it, I was like, nah, man, you can't be right. You can't be right. He was like, if you think about it, what was that, 90, like 90 through 92? You know, everybody had the, you know, the dashikis, the blah, blah, blahs, and the African medallion. He said, outside of that, hip hop sold out, man.
Yo, bro, they had
He
to
said
get.
it was only like 2 years, man. And I thought about it. Think about it, though. Think about the 90s was all about Jiggy, getting dressed. Even the 80s, the early 80s stuff.
It all ended
Yeah.
and after the Rodney King riots, you know, everybody said right after the Rodney King riots, that's when they said, no, we got to change the thing. You know, we're going to talk about East Coast versus West Coast, gangbang and all stuff like this, all the conscious stuff. But it was still there. You had groups like Gangstar that lasted to the late 90s, you know, but they were pushed to the side, you know, for righteous.
But you know what? His argument was, he was like, if you really listen to like Tupac and like Gangstar and them, he said they wasn't really pushing Africa like that. And I thought about it. I was like, damn, Tupac really ain't really talk about Africa. If you think about it. But he was adding nuance to it. He was saying how, you know, it was only a 2-year run. It seemed like a long time, but in this grand scheme of hip hop, it didn't last that long. But he kind of made a good point. But I see what you're saying, though, Kyle.
It was all mixed together. Like when you talk about anything besides like the Masada and all like that, it was something else besides just basically hanging in the hood, selling dope, whatever like that, you know. So therefore, that the Africa thing could have worked on that angle. But when you tell people that this is it and this is all we want to do, it just freaking bang in America and stuff like that, you know. You know, the Pan African movement has no voice, had no platform, you know. So I never forget that, man. Back in the days, man, when I first got on social media back in 2007, and I got on, I went on Ruckus Records, right? And I started talking Pan African stuff. They was like, man, if you don't get your Black Panther ass out of here, you know, and all this shit, man, that shit's dead, man. I was like, yo, I'm gonna talk, yo, what's this colonization? You sound like a black racist, black supremacist. I said, I ain't none of that shit, you know. They started, you know, and I'm saying, so I had to really fight. And then they had this big meeting at Rutgers. The online platform said, yo, they're gonna ban this guy, College Genesis, because he's talking all this pro-black stuff and everything. People have no idea how far gone it got, you know. But you know, the music and everything could help and everything. But I just think that, like I heard Angerman said that, I think the social media is in our age group is replacing is being actually more influential now than rap was. You know, rap lost its influence, right? Now it's social media and people who got platforms on YouTube and stuff like that, viral videos and stuff like that. That's more influential than a lot of people who rap, because a lot of people rap is not going to say anything that's going to basically, and people want, you know, to hear, you know, more conversations than just partying and dancing and just hooking up and shit, you know. So social media has a role. But you know, as far as like, you know, going to Africa, I think when people start seeing people going to Africa, winning and being part, just a natural thing. And what I never do is pressure people. I'm saying like this. I say, people ask me, "Oh, you went to Liberia? Yo, it was nice. I loved it. You know, I like this. So tell me more about it." I said, "Look, if you really want the experience, right? You know, you got to get your visa, go over there, right? Hook up with some people like this. Yeah, but I want to go like this. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. You sound like you had so much fun." I said, "I did." Well, tell me. I said, look, I can tell you a million times, right? But until you make that decision that, look, I'm gonna go to the continent, you touch down on the African soil, you know, and just socialize and do what you normally be yourself. I said, be yourself, and just go to places, eat in restaurants, meet with the local people, you know, have a couple of beers and whatnot, sit on the beach, you know, and buy some ornaments and everything like that, and then pay your hotel bills. Make sure you put some money in the country and bring your ass back to the United States. Make some more money, then go back there a year later. That's how you help Africa. Brother.
Carla, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, we do have to close out, but thanks for sharing the energy as far as people who are ready to connect to the African continent. And I appreciate people asking people for their, how was their experience and things. But the good thing about it, when they, next time we come back and things like that, we just direct them to all of the footage and things like that. So that's the best thing that we have for your family, because a lot of you are going to literally just ask us ridiculous amount of questions for the next 10 years. And really, we need to get you to the country. So if nothing else, here's some documentation, and then hopefully some of it inspire you to join us. But on that note, family, I do appreciate everybody joining us for this Liberia conference call. And we'll work on more as we share more information about the Liberia journey of a lifetime for March 29th to April 9th. The journey continues, family. So everybody have a good night, and we'll connect back. All right, you take care.
Peace. Thank you.